politics wasn't something we talk about, voting, all that in my family. Until the late Adnan passed away, then I kind of researched on him.
This is what I always say. People say, I'm not interested in politics. Politics doesn't affect me. But politics affect everybody's life.
The opposition says that our government is more scared of 𝘏𝘦𝘢𝘐𝑗 than COVID-19. Are you afraid of 𝘏𝘦𝘢𝘐𝑗? So my name is Joshua. I've graduated from Swinburne since 2019 already. After I graduated, I went out and started up with my partner, which is a creative tech startup. So we have been running for 2 years plus now, and everything's going quite good.
My name is Sing. I'm actually very happy to hear all these young people started with all these uncharted territory. These are the blue ocean, the future of Sarawak, and that are talents that we need to build up. Have you ever voted, Joshua?
No, this is my first time this year, depending when it will be. So let's get on the questions first.
Yes.
Okay. So the first one, since we're talking about voting, describe the first time you voted in an election.
I spent many years in Melbourne for election. It's very hard for us to vote overseas because there's no postal vote from overseas at that point of time. And nowadays, you can register overseas and you can vote from overseas. The first time that I permanently settled back in Malaysia is in 1998. And that's when I started voting for the first time. Voting for us is every citizen's right.
Yes.
And I think people should be strongly encouraged to vote. Like in Singapore, they fine you if you don't turn out to vote. In Malaysia, we are 18 years and above automatic registration. So for you, you have to register, isn't it?
I think it was automatically registered, if I'm correct. I don't remember. I just know when I checked again this year, I was already registered.
Okay.
So yeah.
Are you looking forward to having this voting for the first time?
I'm quite, nervous about it because I don't know what to expect. I never stepped in a voting booth. Hopefully, it will go smoothly, especially with all these new normal things.
How do you personally decide go out to vote?
So why? Okay. So I can tell you why I didn't at first. So that was a few years ago. So beforehand, politics wasn't something we talk about, voting, all that in my family. So I only know the basic things about politics, like for example, who our chief minister, who our prime minister was. Until the late Adnan passed away, then I kind of researched on him. I see what he was trying to do. So, that makes me motivated to vote for a leader you want representing Sarawak. So that's what I think. But because that's the whole reason for voting. To choose the leader that you think is well suited to be the one leading us.
Yeah, I think voting is only one part of the process.
Yes.
What you want is actually to bring people into the whole political process. Because I always say it is your responsibility and my responsibility to charter the direction that we want to go.
So this next question is quite interesting for me because I'm curious to know this one. So you say you got into politics a bit later, so you want to focus on what you're doing. So right now you're a full-time politician, but you're also a world-famous cardiologist and a professor. Why even bother getting involved in politics when you already have so much?
That's a question that I got asked everywhere. I was very blessed to given the opportunity to start a heart center in Sarawak, and that's something that I want to do for the people of Sarawak. And when I don't want people to be in a situation that if you got heart disease and if you have no money, you just tengok saja. In 2011, I done most of my work, and then I realized that when sometimes things are not doing as well as the direction and so on, it's not as well as you want to, and when the opportunity comes around, you just have to grab it, so that to do something that in which otherwise I don't have the opportunity to do. To a certain degree, I am very interested to know what does young people in Sarawak think about politics and politicians nowadays.
Nowadays. Okay, so I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for myself. So I can tell you in the past, like for my generation, all politicians are bad because they're on this pedestal that we can't reach to them, we can't talk to them. But in reality, politicians are also, from what I see, just normal humans. Someone, normal, like right now, we're talking like right now. So don't be afraid to speak to them. Especially, I think I see you always eating laksa. Eating laksa, right? So, I've heard from your stories, like people go tell you the problems or that. I like that kind of more down-to-earth politician, and I hope to see more of that. And if we see more of that, I feel like the image of politician would maybe increase better. We don't see the level difference. Yes, of course, I understand why there's the level difference because you are making the choice for all of us. But I also would like to see the human side of the politician. So this question, okay, the opposition says that our government is more scared of 𝘏𝘬𝘢𝘚 than COVID-19. Are you afraid of 𝘏𝘬𝘢𝘚?
I mean, you see, the opposition side always looking for topics to make people notice them. But I don't mind to make people notice them. But I think if you lies about it, right, the voters will catch up if you and punish you badly. And then if we're doing a good job, we continue to support. If we're doing a bad job, then you vote them out. There's no reasons why we worry about 𝘏𝘬𝘢𝘚. The opposition highlight it and misleading. They're consistently misleading. And this is part of the greater challenge of being fake news. Yeah, a lot of politicians nowadays are just purely playing politics for their own survival, not for the people's interest. They just want to get voted. And why? Because that's a good salary for them. Because they got nothing else to do. It's quite interesting. I mean, there's a question that I always out in my mind. How did the young voters, prepare themselves so that they know that what they are really had the right information to make informed decision come election time? Because often, right, you see come election time, a lot of emotional issues, and then people just get angry and they just put across there. So
what I see that right now, I'm not sure if you use Instagram, but for what our generation we use, there's a lot of new accounts who have talk about political issues and the facts about it. So just remember those few accounts. Besides that, it will also be good to double, triple check your information. Like, for example, let's say you go to one news site and read it. As much as they try to be neutral, there's a little biasness. They can't help it. That's how humans, So check that same information through multiple sites. It's too overloaded, especially in this new social media. So I also understand, like, if some people find it too overwhelming. So I guess in the end, do your own research. Listen to other people, but don't get swayed by their opinion. In the end, listen to your own heart. Think what you think, choose what you think is right.
And there are so many fake news around. In West Malaysia, we are going to see more and more ridiculous type of statements, because they want to attract attention. And then indirectly, they didn't realize that, yes, you're trying to get that, but indirectly, you create the racial, religious polarizations and extremisms. I hope that at Sarawak, right, we are much smarter than that. We value our Malay friends, our Dayak friends, respect everybody's faith, and not only respect, we actually join in the celebration. And rather than spending all our time every day just argument, argument will not only bring out a lot of hurts and revenge and so on, but we cannot move forward to solve things. We cannot, the energy are not spent positively to get things done.
So, speaking of all that, like, how do you think your last 5 years as 𝘏𝗀𝗏 𝘏𝘏 has helped people?
I mean, last 5 years, I am very, very fortunate to have the corporations, the trust, and the people in 𝘏𝗀𝗏 work together. Because 𝘏𝗀𝗏 was having so much to cash out. For so many years, nobody do anything, so much to cash out. Even when we want to start, right, we cannot start everything at one go. So we need people to understand, okay, we do this part first, then the next 2 lolongs and so on. Many of my people in 𝘏𝗀𝗏 and was telling me that in 𝘏𝗀𝗏 we used to be tengok saja, looking at other people's. And they said, no, this 1 or 2 years, people tengok 𝘏𝗀𝗏. They all look at 𝘏𝗀𝗏 and they all admire 𝘏𝗀𝗏. This is, I am very proud that I had the opportunity to work together with them and to transform 𝘏𝗀𝗏. And in the next 5 years, right, I hope that if the people believe in me and supported me, I am very sure Batu Kawah will be one of the preferred place to stay. In the environment, we are going to work a lot on environments. We are going to work a lot on issues of traffic jams, securities, all the other facilities. And then people will be benefited enormously for economic activities, for all the other job opportunities and so on. We made Batu Kawah the famous place for the whole Kuching.
Okay, so the last question. Do you have any message for new and young voters?
Yes, I mean, I would like to all the young voters and new voters to judge what that politician characters. If those are lying, they always consistently lies. And also to look at the track records. Whether they are irresponsibly make you daydreaming, which is too unrealistic. Malaysia, they used to say we have 6 prime minister over 50 years and so. And last 4 years, we have 4 prime minister. And that's what I always say. People say, I'm not interested in politics. Politics doesn't affect me. But politics affect everybody's life. Because of 4 different prime ministers will have 4 different policies. A classical example is for Sarawak, our number 2 disease is cancer. And it's very expensive to treat. These are what the government responsibility to the people to have the cancer center. So I fight so hard. And when the Dato' Sri Najib as the Prime Minister said, yeah, I'll give you money, change Prime Minister. So the whole thing go back to drawing board because no one wants to give money. New Prime Minister, new policy, and so on. When Tan Sri Muhyiddin came around, I told Tan Sri, I said, you are a cancer survivor. You have personally experienced, and this will be your legacy for the people of Sarawak. And he said, federal government has not enough money. So I go to speak to CM Abanjo. Abanjo said, Sarawak will loan money to federal first. And because he said, we don't want an excuse of no money and people in Sarawak continue to suffer. So I went back to see Tan Sri Muhyiddin and said, okay, the next time when I came to Sarawak, I announced, change Prime Minister again. So can you imagine? I mean, this has been going on for 4 years. 4 years, we could have built a cancer center and our people would not have suffered. I just always wondering how many of our politicians ever visited a cancer hospital in South General Hospital, ever to see people who suffer. They will just take opportunity for the sake of publicity, not for sympathy. And so I think I hope our young voters and new voters first study the character of that person. If they are lying, they will be consistently lying.
So thank you for all the wise words you said. I wish you good luck in the coming election.
Thanks, Joshua. Sarawak. Over the years, I have had the honor and the opportunity to converse with and learn from my fellow Sarawakians in my routine 𝘬𝘂𝗶 𝗛𝗶 sessions. Whether you are students, farmers, hawkers, professional, or entrepreneur, it's always a pleasure to meet with you. Each conversation allows me to understand and learn about the things that truly matter to you. It is through these exchanges we get to gain insights into how we as one people can make Sarawak a better place together. The Sarawak election is just around the corner, and I am sure by now you are surrounded by many informations and stories. Sadly, some of these stories are made to create hatred, anger, and divisions among Sarawakians. Some politicians choose to use these negative tactics because tearing people apart is easy. Actually contributing and bringing Sarawakians together is harder. Let us all contribute to a positive Sarawak, to unite and work for a better tomorrow, and by understanding each other. Here, I would like to invite you to join in my digital 𝘬𝘂𝗶 𝗛𝗶 session as we talk to various hardworking Sarawakians. In each episode, we invite one Sarawakian to have a frank, heart-to-heart dialogues about things. that really matters to them. We will learn their stories, their heartaches, their triumphs, and through it all, let's together gain better perspective about the direction we want to bring Sarawak forwards. Welcome to Heart Talk with Dr. Singh.